Welcome back. Let's toss it back out to Guy, who is with some amazing animals over at Domino's Farms.
Oh, Karen, you know, next to the bald eagle, there's probably nothing more all-American than the American bison, and they're helping keep this species alive out here at Domino's Farms with this 270-acre pasture, and the newest member of the herd is right out there. That is the 25th bison calf born on this farm so far since this spring, born just last night. He was up and rolling with his mom just a few minutes ago. He was up in just 30 minutes. So they get their babies up and grazing right away here. Obviously, these are very important animals. You want to make sure not only are they disease-free, but you bring new DNA into the herd on occasion to make sure that they stay that way. There's a lot of care that goes into these American giants.
What's not to love? I'm very passionate about bison. I enjoy this right here. Starting in the morning like this, there's no better way to do it.
Todd Crocker let me hop at the back of his truck as we went out to give the bison their breakfast. It is some kind of a...
Nice time on that sandpaper?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how they can eat all that grass without cutting their tongues.
During the winter, each of these 85 head get 4 pounds of food per day. In the summer, it's a little less because they've got these beautiful pastures to graze in.
We rotate our pastures up here. We like to rotate every 30 to 40 days, just to help with the worms and parasites.
And I'll bet you didn't know that it's the females of the herd that determine where they're going to chow down.
She can go wherever she wants. She's one of the top. So they're a matriarchal system. So really, the cows will dictate grazing and move the herd. The bulls are there more to protect and oversee the herd safety.
As they enjoyed their breakfast, I noticed just how surprisingly calm these animals are. I asked Todd how they managed to keep them so serene.
We've done a lot of work in low-stress animal handling and being very patient with our herd so that they know us more as friends than predators. My concept is if they're not doing what we want them to do, we're not doing something right. It's not they're doing something wrong, it's we're failing on our side. So we need to rethink what we're doing, evaluate it, and make adaptations for that.
But despite their calm temperament, these are still 3,500-pound wild beasts and something deserving cautious respect.
There's been times where I've been working on a fence line and nobody's around, got up to turn to get a tool out of the gator, and the whole herd be there looking at me like, what are you doing? And that's why I constantly look over my shoulder.
All their hard work has paid off, and this herd is breeding successfully.
We've done very well in our breeding program here, and we've been in the process of developing the herd over the last 19 years, and we're finally to a place that we've been showing nationally, and we just came home with some top honors from a pretty good show, and yeah, very proud of the herd.
The first 2 little orange calves of the season are running around playfully with their mothers.
It's really nice to have a good start to the season, and we're anticipating another 34 calves. Pretty excited about that.
Once they're born, every calf is given a DNA test to protect the health of the herd.
The inbreeding component, also knowing which bull produced what for quality purposes, and also as your bulls get older, if something had happened that you weren't aware of, where all of a sudden they're not producing, that'd be a huge problem for the following year.
This careful attention to health and happiness has allowed them to raise real prize winners.
Whenever we're doing anything out in the herd, I never have a timeline in my head. Like, we're going to be done in 4 hours. We're going to be done when we're done.
And if there's such a thing as a bison herder, I'm with him. Todd Crocker is the man that oversees these magnificent animals out here. You were saying that they know we're strangers, and that's why they've been a little restless.
That is correct. They can pick up on the different scents, and they also see the different activity with the cameras and whatnot. That's why you see the cow with her new baby a lot more cautious, staying way out to the end.
Yeah. You've had a very productive breeding season.
It's been a great one. Yep, we're up to 25 babies. Our newest member from a grand champion female we picked up from the EBA had her first calf this year, so I was pretty excited about that.
And I noticed that a few of these animals have sores on their back, open sores, and you were telling me that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing at all. That means the 2 bulls we have out here are doing their job. Those are breed marks. So when you're not seeing that, you're having a problem, and you got to switch out bulls and whatnot.
You have to send them on a nice date, right?
Yeah, you do. But they're definitely doing their job because there's a lot of breed marks out here right now.
In terms of the herd, how big will the herd get? You share with other herds as well to keep the breeding stock refreshed?
Yeah, we do. We through our showing process and that, we do some trading, and we also sell and coordinate with other ranchers all across the country. We like to keep our herd size right at about 90, and that's right where we're at. So what we're doing now is producing quality genetic breeding stock and just growing on like that.
Yeah, we noticed that there was kind of some jockeying around the truck beforehand. You said this is they've got a whole social order that they try to keep in check here.
Yeah, they have a very strong social component to them. They test their pecking order daily, and inside this herd there's little clusters of friends too, where there's 4 cows that always hang out together, or 4 yearlings that always hang out together. So.
But the ladies call the shots, right?
Yeah, the oldest cows usually dictate breeding or grazing lands and that, and so we have a 28-year-old cow out here. I do not see her right now, but she's the one that moves the herd around. The bulls are more around to breed and do their job.
As most of the women watching this program say, the good Lord meant it to be. Todd, thanks so much. I know you're very proud, and if you see these guys strutting their stuff, it's because, Karen, they are award winners, and that's all thanks to the care that they get out here at Domino's Farms.
I have to tell you, Guy, that shot right there is so darn cool. What a great morning you are having out there. It just is so fun.
Oh. And Michelle Oliver and I have collaborated on this along with our intern Alicia Bergio, and it's just an amazing place to visit, and we've had a lot of fun doing it.
All right, well, definitely a place that we need to bring. Good morning, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. Thank you for a very special Live in the D. My partner, Guy Gordon, is live out at Domino's Farms today. Good morning, Guy.
And good morning, Karen. You know, you are my favorite Polish girl, but I found maybe my second favorite. This is a Polish hen, a Polish chicken, just one of the, and look how friendly she is. Just one of the many animals that you can come and enjoy and pick up and feed here at Domino's Farms. You sometimes forget that this is a corporate headquarters of a mega billion-dollar corporation. And you get a chance to really be part of this pastoral setting. 271 acres of beauty here in Washtenaw County. You can feed the animals, you can pet them, but this takes a lot of care, a lot of grooming. You've got to take care of the animals. You got to pick up after them. That sometimes involves shovels, as we all know. It's a lot of work, and it starts well before dawn. While you're still in your PJs or drinking your first cup of coffee at 6 in the morning, these farm hands are already out in full force, giving the animals their breakfast. They go through over 1.5 tons of feed, 8,000 pounds of hay, and 700 pounds of carrots. That's per week. Plus, there are several pastures they can graze in as well.
The pastures that the cows and the equine graze in, they will eat it down, and then our ground staff will rotate them. All the other grass is mowed weekly, and it's fertilized, and it is taken very well care of by our ground staff.
Everyone needs to be highly educated for each species of animal they care for, especially since they have such a diverse menagerie of critters.
We have all your standard ones: cows, ponies, chickens, ducks, but then we do have the other fun ones like bunnies, and less common ones like alpacas and llamas.
One of their most exotic animals are these Watusi cattle. They are a native species to Africa, and their signature horns can reach up to 8 feet tip to tip.
Their horns are, very long, and you can't have people coming up to the fence here, because if they turn their head, they'll clock you. So while we have these guys in here, we have double fencing to keep the public at a certain distance.
Yeah, those large horns are dangerous, and they are used for defense, but they're also honeycombed in structure, which allows them to act like a radiator in the summer to keep the animal cool.
Basically, it's all on how you know them, how they know you. I've gone in there with them. I've been sometimes from media away from them. It's just, whatever you do, you don't ever turn your back on them.
there is a lot to know and there is a lot to learn, and you never want to underestimate any of these animals because their size, power, strength, and the care that goes into keeping them alive.
But it's not just the staff concerned about their safety. It's the hundreds of people that come to pet these animals every day.
Our petting farm's a little bit more unique than other ones because you can interact and pet with most of the animals. You can pet and feed most of the animals. We set some strict rules for pigs and ponies as far as feeding. But then with our other animals, the sheep, the goats, the llamas, the alpacas, they're very friendly. They interact with people every day.
Here's a little takeaway I had today. If this guy appears to be sneezing at you, he's not sneezing, he's spitting. Is that just your way of saying hi? And with all this human interaction, they need to make sure, as the old saying goes, that they are as healthy as a horse.
We are licensed through the USDA, so we have a really good vet care program. They all have their shots.
And that way, it's a fun and safe experience for all.
I believe it's almost kind of rewarding to the animal to be able to have all these people come in and look at them, want to pet them all the time.
Is that a she?
And we're joined live by Tom Monahan, the visionary, the founder of Domino's Pizza, who 30 years ago had this wild idea that maybe a farm could be a good place for a corporate headquarters.
Well, I've always wanted to have a farm for a corporate headquarters, but then the company got so big that, and I looked at a number of farms around here, but never able to purchase one. So, but the company got too big. But when we bought this property, this barn was right in the middle where our building is now. We operated the petting farm there for a while, and then moved it over here when we expanded the building. And I've always enjoyed it. I like to see my happiest part of my youth has been on farms, and I like to see little kids enjoy the animals.
Well, and I was watching you helping some children feed some of the animals here, and you were having fun. Now, this is a 4-story building that we have behind us. You had a very particular vision about how you wanted that to work with the land, in concert with the land. How did that happen, and what was the advice and the instruction that you gave your architects?
Well, it was a long, drawn-out process. I went through 3 architects to get them to understand what I wanted to do. And, of course, Frank Lloyd Wright said the building should be of the site, not on the site.
Which is why it's nestled in, and you've got it bermed. And now I know there was also supposed to be a tower as part of this. I know you were an admirer of Frank Lloyd Wright and the Golden Beacon building that he never had a chance to build. Do you still hope to maybe build that someday?
No, we did get the zoning for it, but I've long ago given up on it, particularly since I don't have the pizza company anymore, because there's no way that it'd be justifiable otherwise. You might probably sell a lot of pizzas, but you can't get enough rent for it to justify it.
Now, I know that you sold the company in '98. You've been very active down in Florida with your Ave Maria Law School. What else are you doing? Kind of bring us up to date on what Tom Monahan's been up to.
Well, besides this property, I also the CEO of Legatus, which is an organization for Catholic CEOs, and we got about 90 chapters around the country. And I've been the chairman of the law school, and I spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
We got a lot of exciting plans for the law school. And then the university, I ran that for 10 years and commuting it almost every week, which was pretty tough, but we got it going, and we got a good president there now. So I'm in Michigan a lot more now. I'm just coming to Michigan on weekends.
Still follow the Tigers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of their chances for the second half?
Well, yeah, it's a long ways to go.
We got it. We're kind of snake bit with the injuries right now, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. In terms of the bison that we see out here, how important is that?
Well, first of all, I had a couple of them out here, and then down by the Plymouth Road. And then when we built this grade school, we took them out, and everybody complained about it. And so I've used this property over here to put them in, and it's been and it's the best landscaping I've ever done. Yeah.
It really is. They're beautiful, and I know you've won awards. Thanks so much for doing this, and it's a great way to invite people out to be a part of the of the community that you created with this corporation. And it's great to see you. You're looking well and doing great things.
Thank you. I'm feeling good.
Tom Monahan, thanks so much. Tay, I just want to step over here to show you one little feature here that you can see. You never know what you're going to find here at Domino's Farms. Look at this. That's where all the bees are hanging out. They go in that pipe. There's a hive on the other side that you can watch that's in a glass case, and they're making some honey, Karen. Pretty cool stuff. We're going to take you on a hayride when we come back to Domino's Farms here on Live in the D.